Welcome to the program. I'm Charles Aite. You know, food security remains a key national priority, especially when the government has initiated ambitious programs to shore up production and export of food. But how safe is our agric sector on the matter of agriculture insurance? This hour, we have a packed panel of industry players and government officials in the agric value chain. Joining us via Zoom is the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Yao Frimpong Ado. In studio also will be Ali Mohammed Katu, the General Manager of the Ghana Agric Insurance Pool and the Chief Operating Officer of the Ghana Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, Techi Sraha. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. I want to start off with the Deputy Agric Minister who's joining us via Zoom. He's going to be joining us shortly, though. But of course, we're grateful to have in studio with us the Chief Operating Officer of, Gesal, Techi Sraha. We're grateful, sir, that you could join us. Of course, as we kickstart this, discussion, it begs the question about the state of agric insurance in Ghana currently, because we barely hear about it.
Yes, thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners. Yes. You're right, you barely hear agric insurance, but there's an organization called Agric Insurance Pool that has been set up by government that is providing insurance to farmers and other agribusinesses. So
but why do we barely hear about it? Is it that you're not really bringing out information for the public to understand? You're working in isolation?
Not really. The farmers, some farmers are aware. Farmers who require insurance, especially smallholder farmers who are into annual crops, poultry farmers, and even some tree crop farmers are aware of agric insurance.
Great. But of course, even as we're having this discussion, we do understand that you operate along 6 pillars. And out of these pillars, we could list, sharing risk fund, the issue facility for brewers, and of course, rewarding system for banks and digital platform for farmers. How is this really contributing to, the penetration of insurance in agriculture?
Okay, so let me start by giving a background of what GESA is. Ghana Incentive Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending was set up by the government of Ghana as a private company wholly owned by government and capitalized by Bank of Ghana, and also a facility from African Development Bank.
Great.
And the main role of GESA is to the risk lending to the agric sector by financial institutions to stimulate growth. And we do this using a very simple model. So as an agribusiness requiring a loan facility, you approach your bank, and once your loan application goes through the bank approval processes and is approved, and they require support, then they come to us as a guarantee institution to provide guarantee on the loan that the bank is providing to the agribusiness. So as GESA, our primary stakeholder is the financial institutions, and we provide that kind of comfort to the financial institution to lend to the agribusiness. And the guarantee is to ensure that on unlikely events that the facility go bad, they can come to GESA for claims. And the guarantee is up to 70% of the principal loan amount.
That's interesting. But even as we're speaking about numbers here, we do know, Mrs. Sraha, that an initial 400 million cedis was injected in the fund through the Bank of Ghana and other stakeholders. How much of this amount has gone purposefully to the benefit of farmers?
Okay, so initially the capitalization was supposed to be 400 million. But when we've barely in operation 2.5 years. When we started, Bank of Ghana provided us 200 million, and government also got a facility, $13.6 million from African Development Bank. Okay. So roughly at inception, we were around 270 million. And we've grown that capital to close to 400 million now. And in terms of impact, because we don't lend directly to agribusiness or to the banks for on-lending. We provide a guarantee. So our funds are usually in investment, and using the guarantee, with guarantee loans worth 392 million.
392 million.
Within the last 2 years for benefiting over 80 agribusinesses.
Interesting. Mrs. Raha, please hold on your thoughts there for us, because we shall also be having the general manager of, the GIP, that's GIP, Ali Mohammed Katu, to also help us understand his outfit and their contribution to agric insurance. But we want to hear from the average, farmer, those who represent these farmers on the various farmlands. And of course, Anthony Morrison is the chief executive of the Chamber of Agribusiness. He joins us via Zoom. Morrison, you've been listening into, Mr. Raha and his submissions regarding the contributions to insurance in Ghana. Where do you stand when it comes to the state of insurance in Ghana currently for farmers across the country? Is it really happening, or is it just a thought of word?
Well, thank you very much, and my regards to my good friend Techi in the studio with you. Yes, of course, the Chamber of Agribusiness was part of the key players that were part of the validation workshop some 3 years ago. We did at JoyNews. We were expecting that some of the feedbacks or the objectives of that validation workshop for the Ghana agriculture insurance to take off should have materialized by now, because it's more than 3 years. Now, what is happening in the industry is that, yes, of course, the agribusiness industry is worth some $15 billion. And according to the last estimate provided by the Israeli Trade Chamber last year, having an insurance industry for the agribusiness or agriculture doing about 400 million, which is good. We were also expecting that the insurance pool would have come in, just that there were challenges with the areas of implementation. Now, there is a need for a lot more education to be done with regards to the agriculture insurance penetration in the country. A lot more of people are not aware and even do not understand how insurance can help to de-risk some of the credit facilities they go in for. And I think that Gethel rightly stated it clearly. So there is much more to be done, but on the side of government, more effort has to be done with regards to actualizing the policy itself, because the policy is the framework, is the infrastructure on which the private sector will actively participate in the insurance industry, especially with the agriculture sector.
We get your point there, Mr. Shra. When you listen to Anthony Morrison call for the need for us to actualize the policy so that the average farmer there could really feel its benefits, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, in terms of the policy, I think GESA is one of the instruments that government is using to ensure that there is investment in the agri sector. And as I said, we've been operating for the last 2 years, and we made some modest impact.
Right.
So we are on course. And looking into the future, we are going to focus more on using the scheme to help with import substitution and spare up exports.
Interesting, but of course we are grateful that we are being joined by Ali Mohammed Katu. We're grateful, sir. K2, General Manager of GIP. We're grateful that you could join us. Of course, we're having this discussion on the issue of agric and insurance penetration, but because when you're looking at the national average, we're looking at close to just 2% of insurance penetration on the national level. So help us with statistics when it comes to agric insurance, the penetration of insurance in the agric sector when it comes to the numbers. How much are we deeper into insuring agric produce?
Thank you very much, and let me just apologize to your viewers for my late appearance. Yeah, talking about numbers, I think Agric insurance was started in this country about 2011, but the expectation has not been met. The numbers we have are nothing to write home about. We have less than 30,000 farmers being insured and few commercial farmers that being insured. It all has to do with understanding, and I agree with Mr. Morrison, who was trying to say that the actualization has been a challenge because people don't understand the insurance, how it works and other things. Because
when you say people don't understand, is it the farmers, is it the policymakers, or is it the private sector? Help us situate
it's a gamut of issues, which if I'm to deal with and take them step by step, you may not leave your studio. So let me just sum it up. It boils down to education. Take the financial institution. You say, I'll add insurance to whatever facility we are giving to the farm. Say, no, the cost of insurance will make me uncompetitive. Because we are in a region of high interest rate. So adding the insurance, and agri insurance operates in not only crop insurance, but livestock and aquaculture. And it's going to the area where nobody goes. We are dealing with natural disasters. We cover drought, excess rainfall, flooding, and outbreak of disease like the 4 armyworm, which the country experienced in 2017. Those areas, that's why we cover. So where the normal insurance doesn't go, that's where we go. And in risk management, the higher the risk, the higher the premium. So they see the premiums as, oh no, when I bring it on board, it's going to make me uncompetitive. That's one aspect. Then come to the farmer himself. At the time of planting, he's looking at his fertilizer, his seeds, and nothing. So insurance being a security is nothing he thinks about. So he feels he doesn't need it. So that's what I mean by we need more education to the people to understand. The premium is high. Why is it high? But what are the benefits? Can the benefits be commensurate with my risks I'm pushing to this man to uptake for me? So this is where you have to do a lot of sensitization and other things. And even our policy holders, as makers, as you said, in some cases, we look at it, insurance, when you take insurance, they only need how to take your money. But when it comes to claims, it's a challenge. But I can assure you, we can pay claims in the shortest possible time if it's a genuine claim.
And how many claims have you been able to clear, to pay in the past few years?
Unfortunately, I don't have my stats here, but with the 4 army in 2017, we paid over 3 million to our small cities, the small farmers we had. We work with Premium Foods, Agricare, who were running on outgrower schemes with their smallholder farmers. And when the 4 army came, we paid them those compensation. We published them in the national dailies, so we have the pictures and another in the dailies for that. Then this year, one of my farmers suffered a loss due to windstorm, and within 1 month, we paid him his check and that kind of thing, yes.
All right, so the cash flow is there.
That is it.
The issue now is with the engagement and the policy direction to rope in more people, private
and
sector farmers
in the policy direction, what the National Insurance Commission is doing with the support of AGRA, Alliance for Green Revolution of Africa, is that we are developing a national agriculture insurance policy, where it will spell out the roles of all the stakeholders. The Ministry of Agric is involved, Ministry of Finance is involved, the insurance industry, the farmers, and even the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, where extension officers should be educated because they are the first point of contact with the farmers, especially the smallholder farmers. So they should be able to carry the message to the farmer so the farmer will understand. For example, if you organize a workshop for farmers, they come, they hear of agri insurance. He goes to the farm, the extension officer comes, he trusted him. So when say, I've heard that there's agri insurance for my farmer, so it's not a good thing, don't go there. That's the end of the story. Maybe he might be ignorant. He didn't know how agri insurance operates. But because he doesn't want to display his ignorance, so forget about it. And that's it, the farmer takes it that way. Great. So that's why we want to train all these people so that they will understand and they can communicate because they are the interface between the insurance industry and the farmers. And again, when you take the current Insurance Act of 2021, that is Insurance Act 1061, when you get to Section 210, we have index-based insurance contracts, which refer to agriculture insurance for smallholder farmers, which hitherto in Act 724, which has been reviewed or amended, there wasn't anything like that. So that was another challenge for the provision of agriculture insurance in the country. Then once we go to Section 245 up to 249, You're also talking about establishing agriculture insurance fund. And the fund's main objective is provide premium support for farmers and also training of extension officers. And all this I'm talking about provision of infrastructure for the provision of agriculture insurance.
Great.
So these are what the National Insurance Commission is doing to champion agriculture insurance. And this is done in collaboration with the Ghana Insurance Association, which is the mother body of GAIF, Ghana Agriculture Insurance Pool. It was formed by GIA, who has a mandate over GAIF.
And we're going to be delving into the remits of your outfit shortly,
Good.
but we are grateful to be joined by the Deputy Agric Minister in the person of Yao Frimpong Ado to help us understand the state of matters when it comes to the general, nature of agric insurance in the country. We're grateful, sir, that you could join us. Of course, we've heard, colleagues in the agric value chain give their submissions regarding where we are as a country. But with government, we do know that you've come up with various aggressive programs, the Plenty for Food and Jobs, issues regarding the tree crops policy. We could just name a few. But it begs the question, are all these programs actually supported by viable insurance programs, policies?
Hello.
Yeah, you're loud and clear, Honourable Minister. If you may not have heard the question right, of course, we could just, realign the question once again. Of course, we're having this discussion about agric insurance. And since we have seen government very heavy on ambitious agric policies, the Plenty for Food and Jobs initiative, the tree crops policy, the agric extension policy, and all other laudable policies to beef up food security in the country, the question we're asking is whether or not these policies are heavy on insurance buffers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for linking me to this very important discussion. And for us at the ministry, it is one of the levels that we are getting to right now. Because as you rightly mentioned, in spite of all the programs that we have initiated in the ministry, Planting for Food and Jobs, and all the modules under the Planting for Food and Jobs, whether livestock, crops, everywhere, the tree crops especially. If we don't engage in serious discussions on this insurance component of it, a time will come that all these farms that we are setting up maybe engulf fire. Fire can destroy everything that we have. But before I go on to maybe talk about the main subject, let us look at some of the challenges that the ministry is facing as far as insurance is concerned for our farmers. See, the unpredictability of our weather here, and the land signal system, the small financial support from the institution, all these come together to mitigate against any move to introduce insurance in agriculture. So government is partnering the private sector. Agriculture is business, and if we are going to look at it as business, then just like any other business outside of agriculture, insurance is cheap, and therefore what the government is trying to do is to create the enabling environment to encourage the private sector to also come and support agriculture insurance. At the moment,
I'm afraid we're having issues connecting with the Deputy Agric Minister, but we'll try reconnecting to have his thoughts on government progress when it comes to cushioning farmers on insurance products. But let me get back to you, Mrs. Fraha, because we do know that you have a particular target of 6.8%, reducing poverty by 6.8% in Ghana's agric value chain through specific insurance policies. How is this particular target going under your outfit?
Well, for us, our target is to double, using our guarantee, to double the current lending to the agri sector. That is a baseline 2019, which at that time was, I think, around 1.3 billion.
1.3 billion cedis.
Billion, roughly, if my figures are right. That's as part of the total commercial lending to agric. So in 10 years, we are required to double that. And as I said, we are on course in doing that. Within 2.5 years, we've been able to guarantee loans worth 397 million. And these loans, without the guarantee instrument, may not have received funding from the financial institution. And we believe that in the next 5 years, we'll be able to increase lending using the guarantee instrument per our projections with an additional 2.4 billion Ghana cedis.
2.4 billion.
So we're using that to double lending as our target, and also we are using that credit guarantee instrument to help reduce interest rate and also non-performing loan.
All right. Non-performing loans, especially from most of these agric farmers. All right, we shall be keeping an eye on that to get updates subsequently. You know, we always need the updates. But, you know, Mr. Keita, I'm just going through this report from the GIZ, the German Development, Agency. It was published, in 2016, but it's still relevant considering the import of the submission. I want to quote sections of that. It says that there's no economically sustainable agric insurance product available in the Ghanaian market. This is based on over-optimistic demand assumptions, low literacy of insurance products, as you rightly stated. What do you make of this, especially when you're so much striving to bridge the gap and you're also trying to engage partners in making the insurance pool a success?
Good. Thank you very much. And I think this alluded to the fact that we need more education in that direction. When you say we don't have reliable agriculture insurance products, the situation is not the same as at then, because now we have policies for commercial farmers, policy for aquaculture, policy for tree crops, policy for smallholder farmers. I mean, the smallholder farmers area globally, what we call the parametric index insurance or parametric insurance, where we don't go to the farm to inspect like the normal insurance, which we call indemnity-based. But that's why it's index-based. We use a proxy to assess and give policies to smallholder farmers. So we have all these policies now in this country. The only thing left out there is the education. And getting people to understand. And again, what we are trying to do is like what we are in discussion with GESA to come with a agric funding model, which in that financing model, there will be guarantees from GESA, there will be insurance from GAIP, and the financial institute will bundle it together. So that the farmer can have one-stop shop and get an affordable product. Because in that case, we are looking at where the interest rate to farming will come down, the premium will also come down. So at the end of the day, it becomes affordable to the farmer. And that's the drive we are looking at to agric funding. And in that case, I mean, farmers can even move on to the adaptation of climate technologies.
All right. I think we could end with the Deputy Agric Minister. He rejoins us, so we hope that things could get better with the phone lines. Honourable Minister, grateful that I could rejoin once again. We do know that the total, area under irrigation in Ghana currently is estimated about 221,000 hectares, which is only 1.6% of the 14 million hectares of agric land area. But, Honourable, considering the climate change and its impact on agric produce world over, it begs the question whether or not farmers are being cushioned through affordable insurance products under your leadership. I'm afraid we do not have the Honourable Minister, the issues of technology messing us up here and there. But I want to take your closing statement because, even as we're having these discussions, the average farmer on his or her, farmland is concerned about, so what next for me? How do I have a feel of most of these policies in order to inform my processes? 30 seconds each one of you about where next? What must we do in order to beef up insurance in the agric sector? You could start, Mr. Crow.
Well, as Alaji said, we are in discussion with GAIP and try to rope in the financial institutions to understand.
All right.
And once the financial institutions have the understanding, it becomes easier for agribusiness to benefit.
All right. 10 seconds to you, please.
Okay, thank you very much. What we are trying to do is, with this model, the farmers will be educated. We will take them through how the insurance works, so that at the end of the day, they will also have the confidence to go for the loan, because all these things are there. If he's afraid of his production risks, he might even reject the facility. That's where the insurance comes in to push them to have the confidence to go for the facility.
Gentlemen, many thanks for your time. And of course, we're grateful that you could join us for this discussion on agric insurance in Ghana. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for watching.